Resistance is not your enemy.
Before we go anywhere, I need you to understand one thing, and it's the most important truth we will cover. The resistance you feel before every important positive habit in your life, that friction, that pull to do anything else, is not evidence of weakness. It is not a character flaw unique to you. In fact, it is a universal human experience, a signal that you are on the verge of growth. It is not a sign that the practice is wrong for you, or that you are not cut out for this. Quite the opposite. The resistance is a navigation instrument. It's a compass pointing directly toward the work that matters most. And in the next 10 minutes, I am going to show you exactly what it is navigating you toward, and precisely how to move through it in under 60 seconds every single time it appears. This is Law 13 from The Power of Addiction. Stay with me. Here is what resistance actually is. It appears with perfect consistency at every junction between who you currently are and who you are actively becoming. Every single time, without fail. Its presence marks the precise edge of your current neural programming, the exact boundary where your existing brain architecture ends and the new, more capable architecture you are building begins. Most people treat resistance as a stop sign. They feel it. They pause, they negotiate, they postpone, and they walk away from the very edge where their growth was waiting. The positive addict reads resistance differently. The positive addict recognizes resistance as a highly specific location-stamped message from the universe saying, "Here. This is exactly where you need to go. This is the edge that grows you." The resistance is not blocking the path. The resistance is marking the path. That one shift in interpretation changes everything. Now I need to be very clear about what surrender means in this context, because surrender does not mean collapse. It does not mean passive acceptance. It does not mean giving up. Surrender means the complete immediate dropping of the internal argument with the resistance, the cessation of the energy-draining fight against the feeling of not wanting to. The fluid, direct movement through the resistance as if it were a membrane rather than a wall. Because here is what every master practitioner across every discipline has discovered the moment they stopped arguing with resistance and simply moved through it. The membrane is paper thin. Resistance is a sensation, not a structure. The flow state waiting on the other side of 1 minute of forward movement is more powerful and more generative than anything the resistance was supposedly protecting you from. 1 minute. That is all that separates you from the other side of resistance. Not 1 hour of preparation. Not one perfect morning. Not one motivational speech. 1 minute of forward movement. Now let me show you exactly how resistance defeats most people. You feel it. That heavy, viscous reluctance that arrives reliably between the trigger and the beginning of the practice. And you begin negotiating with it. You give it 5 minutes, then 10. Then you add a justifying story about needing more preparation, more rest, a better moment. And here is what happens inside that negotiation that most people never see. Negotiation validates the resistance. Validation gives it authority. Authority gives it the power to expand. And expansion makes tomorrow's resistance more formidable, not less. This is the resistance loop pattern. And it is triggered by the single mechanism of treating a sensation as a legitimate decision-making authority it has never actually possessed. Resistance has no authority over whether the work happens today. It never did. You gave it the authority by negotiating. The moment you stop negotiating, the authority disappears. Flow state research has identified the threshold crossing moment, the transition from pre-engagement resistance to full absorption flow, as the most psychologically significant moment in any high-performance practice. And the data shows something remarkable. The flow state on the other side of the resistance threshold delivers a neurochemical profile combining 5 performance-enhancing neurochemicals simultaneously, creating what researchers describe as the most rewarding neurological state a human brain can access. 5 neurochemicals simultaneously, on the other side of 1 minute of forward movement, and behavioral activation research confirms this from a different angle. The body does not become willing and then move. It moves and then becomes willing. The brain's motor engagement circuits, once activated through physical beginning, pull the motivational and attentional circuits online through neurological integration that cannot be reversed by the thinking mind once set in motion. You do not wait until you feel ready. You move, and readiness follows. Here is the human nature truth underneath all of this. The resistance that arises before every important positive action is generated by the brain's threat detection system, trained through years of reinforcement to interpret the feeling of challenge, unfamiliarity, and potential failure as danger requiring avoidance. This is not a sign of personal weakness. It is the predictable universal response of a survival-wired brain to the specific stimuli of genuine growth. The positive addict does not take resistance as an indictment of character. They take it as the most reliable available evidence that the action about to be performed is exactly the one that needs to happen most. Read that again. The stronger the resistance, the more important the action. The resistance is not warning you away from the practice. It is confirming that the practice matters.
Here is the exact technique from Law 13. Use it the next time resistance appears. The moment resistance arrives, place both feet flat on the floor. Feel the solidity of the ground beneath you. Take one slow, complete breath, and say aloud, out loud, not in your head, I surrender the argument. I move now. Then perform one single physical action toward the practice. One step, one word, one breath in the designated direction. Do not ask for willingness first. Do not wait for readiness. Do not negotiate. Move first. Let the neurochemistry catch up. It will. Within 60 seconds, without exception. The assertion from this law is I got this, not as a declaration that the path is easy or the resistance is comfortable, but as the declaration that the resistance is not a veto. That movement happens regardless of its presence, volume, or apparent intensity. Say it at the exact moment of highest resistance and let your feet move before your mind can respond.
The awareness log tracks this directly. Log the resistance intensity when it arrives. Log the time from first movement to flow state entry. Log the depth of flow achieved. Then watch what happens over 7 consecutive days of surrender practice. The average resistance duration before flow state entry drops from minutes to seconds within 7 days. Because every movement through resistance, every surrender without negotiation, measurably reduces the intensity and duration of the next day's resistance through behavioral extinction. The chain builds on itself. The crossing gets faster. The flow gets deeper. The resistance gets quieter. 72 laws. Law 0. 73 days. The free 7-3-day positive addiction awareness log is in the description. The physical book is live at the link below. This is Law 13, Surrender, Resistance, and Flow. The membrane is paper thin. Move through it. Follow for daily laws from The Power of Addiction. The chain is unbreakable.